teams out to like 500 or 600 to 1 because they're taking no action. And you look at a team like the Memphis Grizzlies. The grand total number of dollars in tickets bet on the Memphis Grizzlies in the future pool right now is zero.
$0.
So, there's no reason not to because no one's going to go there. They just traded Mike Conley away. So I think it's time to take a stand probably on some of these bad teams and just let them go.
Yeah, I can't disagree with any of that. By the way, as far as Leonard goes, and I obviously don't know anything. I do know this. It's the Clippers, okay? The Clippers nothing ever goes right for the Clippers. He's going to end up signing with Toronto and he's got a meeting scheduled with the Lakers, evidently. He's not going to, I just know he's not going to end up with the Clippers.
Well, there's one guy who we really don't know. I mean, Kyrie Irving, who is a guy who absolutely will impact the futures market where he lands. And all the rumors are Brooklyn. And Dave, you made a great point a few minutes ago about saying bettors have the opportunity to bet the rumor.
Right.
And potentially get in front of the number. Are you seeing Brooklyn action in the futures market, or is it really just, Lakers and Clippers is the primary choices? And then you said you took some Raptors money and Nuggets as well.
Yeah, that's it. There's almost no money on the Nets, actually. If the season were to end today, they're one of our best results. And so nobody's really playing, we're dealing 20 to 1, assuming they're going to sign at least one person. Brooklyn maybe not the greatest building to play in, but, a lot of these guys want to live in New York. So in terms of destination living, that's a place to go. But, yeah, nobody's taking a chance that someone will go to the Nets. We've had the 20 to 1 up there for a while and no takers.
We're at the halfway mark of the baseball season. Who's your biggest surprise team and your biggest dud so far, Jeff?
Well, the biggest surprise to me is clearly the Texas Rangers. Yeah. This team's win total, I don't remember off the top of my head, but it was in the low 70s. And what an incredible resurgence from Hunter Pence. This guy's career was all but over, and he's been unbelievable. Danny Santana, who's basically been the 25th man on every roster for his career, he's hitting 300 out of obscurity, and this team scores a ton of runs. They're still giving up a ton of runs, and I expect them to fade a bit, but it's kind of good to see someone other than the usual suspects be relevant and be in contention at the All-Star break. Biggest flop, probably the Nationals, even though I still think they can make the playoffs. They have a lot of talent. They have excellent starting pitching. Bullpen, nothing short of a disaster. The manager is nothing short of a disaster. But this team, to me, is far too talented to be mediocre all year long. And if they can find a way to get an out somewhere, between the starter and Doolittle, I still think this team is live to make the playoffs.
They're set now. In fact, I would probably make them the favorite to win it all now because they signed Fernando Rodney yesterday. I mean, what? Are you trying to lose games? It's unbelievable. All right.
I mean, how much worse can he be than who they're running out there now? Nobody can get an out outside of Doolittle.
Well, the Mets bullpen's been worse than theirs in the last couple of weeks. And that's saying something.
Are you seeing more of the sharper players around town sticking to first five props because the bullpens are so unpredictable?
Yes and no. I'll say that the first five handle is increased, but I'm going to say that the game handle has not decreased. People still want to bet the games. They still want to, because sometimes now they're playing against bullpens, and part of the price, the bullpens are baked into it. So, I'll say the first five handle is increased, definitely.
Rocket Mortgage is the golf tournament this weekend. It's a first-time tournament in the Detroit area. So Ricky Fowler will be the official co-host or unofficial co-host, I guess, of the tournament because he does so much endorsement work for Rocket Financial. Do you put anything into that? Is that a plus or a minus? I've never figured out how to gauge that because I'm assuming that Fowler is going to be involved in all kinds of events that are taking place other than the golf. So I kind of threw him out this week. I don't know if I'm doing that right or not.
I don't know if it's correlated or not, but I actually didn't even know he was hosting, but now that you mention it, it makes me think. There's a tournament in the European Tour, the British Masters, every year, and it's always hosted by one of the key guys. This year was Fleetwood. It's been Poulter, Justin Rose, and every year that guy misses the cut, and it happened again this year. So I don't know if it's correlated at all. It could be completely random, But, in that regard, maybe a throw-out Fowler. But I look at 10-1 on Ricky Fowler, and that to me is an auto throw-out.
Yeah.
This guy he's ultra-talented, and he just doesn't win enough to be this short. But if you look at this field is the worst PGA Tour event field I've seen outside of, a fall RSM Classic or like the Puerto Rico Open outside of, opposite one of the WGC events. You look at, I just look at Dustin Johnson. He's 6-1. He probably should be closer to 7-2 or 4-1. I mean, he's 10-1 in most majors. And in most majors, the 20th best guy in the field is like Tommy Fleetwood, Adam Scott, Webb Simpson. Who's this week's 20th best player? Kevin Tway? Kyung-Hoon Lee? I mean, where do you go? Point being, there's 156 guys teeing it up this week, and 130 of them are largely irrelevant. So, to me, the value of the market's right at the top. If Dustin Johnson has any interest at all in playing this week, there's no reason why he doesn't win this tournament by 3 or 4 shots.
I kind of feel that way about Matsuyama at 12-1. I mean, that's really low, but he's at worst the third best player in the field, and he's in reasonably good form. So I think he'll do well. But let me throw another name at you from a little deeper, not that much deeper in the pool, but a little deeper. And it's one of the young guns who I think he's now on my list of guys I think I need to play until they win at least one, because they're going to win at least one sooner or later. And that's Joaquin Niemann.
Yeah, Niemann's in great form, and he's just completely a ball striker, iron player, not much on the greens, but again, small greens this week. He's had 4 good events in a row now, and when he appeared on tour as a pro last year, he looked like he was going to break out, and he never did, and he kind of fell out of form a bit, and he's turned it around. And again, once you get past the top 3 names on this list, what's the difference between Ryan Moore at 35-1 and, say, Luke List at 75-1? Essentially nothing. And I'm not saying go bet Luke List. It's more of making an example of This week's field is so bad that you're really throwing darts. So why not Niemann, or why not anyone else? Another name that popped up to me, the only thing you really have to go on in history is the fact that the course is a Donald Ross design, which Eastlake and Sedgefield are the 2 courses. That's the Wyndham Championship that are designed by Donald Ross that they get the PGA plays on every year. Last year's BMW was at Aronimink, which is also a Donald Ross design. The names that appeared more often than not: Billy Horschel, Brandt Snedeker, and the guy you mentioned, Dave Hideki Matsuyama. So if you're grasping at straws here like me, those names seem to appear a lot on these Don Ross courses.
Well, it's Women's World Cup time.
There's going to be a lot of action on this game.
Oh, for sure. And what's that? Is that noon? Is that like people can actually watch it on Friday? Is that going to be one of these?
USA France.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a noon game.
Yeah.
And not surprisingly, patriotism showing large in the ticket count and money count so far, and that figures to continue. The early move came on France, which makes sense given, the U.S. was probably fortunate to get a result against Spain. Really, really soft penalty kick given late in the second half there. Spain made a great account of themselves and were really unfortunate, I thought. USA hugely overrated by the public after whitewashing 2 absolutely terrible teams in Thailand and Chile. They kept a clean sheet against Sweden, although, they gave up a lot of chances, and they didn't look that great. And frankly, we're going to get pounded with USA money, and we're happy to take them on at this point.
Yeah, from a value standpoint, again, I know nothing about women's soccer, even less than I knew about men's soccer, which is saying something. But, boy, you got to think that at least from a value perspective, France is almost an auto bet.
Yeah, they are, and they're the second choice in the field coming into the tournament. Obviously, them hosting plays into it. But again, it's just going to be a huge home crowd, and this is the second best team in the world. And, I think U.S. is a little bit overvalued on the betting number, and I kind of agree with you. And there are going to be places around town at about 11:30 on Friday morning that are not going to be pleased with their risk position. So if you're going to bet France, wait as long as you can.
Well, and here's my question: is that this game is, of course, a quarterfinal matchup. Would it be better if it had ended up being the semis or the finals? Or is it irrelevant whether it's the quarters, the semis, or the finals? That the USA-France is the matchup that people want to bet.
Correct. Yeah, it doesn't really matter what round it is. The further the U.S. goes, it's almost not even going to matter what day it is. We're just going to get hammered with USA money. You know, if U.S. wins the Women's World Cup, we're going to get absolutely buried, and that's okay because, you know, we're going to be paying people that are going to want to bet. They're going to want to bet other stuff. So, you know, if the U.S. wins the Women's World Cup, it's great for the country, and frankly, it's great for business.
Well, speaking of great for business, I mean, this city was built on superstars coming to town and performing at the various locations, and I think this is if I were going to set up an odds board for who's got the best entertainment in town, you guys are like 1 to 9, okay? I mean, it's unbelievable how many superstars are appearing all over town thanks to Caesars Entertainment.
Yeah, and Caesars just signed another one. Shania Twain kicks off her Planet Hollywood residency on December 6th with 6 shows, and then she returns in March for 8 shows. Tickets went on sale a few days ago. Given there's only 6 shows between now and March, I suggest getting them fast. But, yeah, it just adds to the list of, you know, top-notch shows that Caesars continues to put out. The biggest names, Sting, Jerry Seinfeld, Steve Martin, the list goes on and on.
It really is awesome. Yeah. Yeah, if I know who they are, believe me, I might be the least informed pop culture person on the planet.
Yeah, that's why me and you do well together, because I know nothing either.
I even know all these people are, and I know they're absolutely great performers. Got to get down to some of those shows. Get your tickets, folks. Have some fun. Take advantage of what Las Vegas has to offer. Jeff, it's always a pleasure, man.
Gentlemen, talk to you next week.
Jeff Davis, he's the Director of Trading for Caesars Entertainment. You can follow him on Twitter at @the_junkyard. A fountain of great information there. If you're a bettor, segments like these are really worth listening to because you can pick up some really good information.
I mean, honestly, I love doing the Wednesday show because I feel like I learn something every week.
Yep, Jeff he's terrific. Sharp guy and knows what he's doing, and good to talk to as well. We've got a lot to cover still in this show. Our Joe's Angle of the Day, the Wednesday, MJ Christensen 4 at 4, all that and more.
The Las Vegas Sportsline.
See what can happen at Chapman.
Bigger things are in store this June at Chapman Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram.
See what can happen.
As Nevada's #1 Ram dealership, Chapman is now taking up to $15,000 off new Rams, Motor Trend's 2019 Truck of the Year. As Nevada's #1 Jeep dealerships, Chapman is now taking up to $10,000 off new Jeeps. That means new Jeep Renegades as low as $14,999. And if you haven't seen the all-new Jeep Gladiator pickup yet, come on in because we've already got them in stock. Here's an even bigger thing. We've got 0% financing for 72 months. That's free money for 6 years, and you don't have to be rich to qualify. Find bigger deals during our Bigger Things sales event at the Chapman dealerships nearest you. Visit ChapmanLasVegas.com for more information.
OAC on selected models. Offers may not be combined.
Come and see what can happen at Chapman.
And now, an ad from Dad.
Save money on car insurance when you bundle home and auto with Progressive. Yeah. Tell you another way to save money. Don't buy those expensive coffees every morning, you know. Then you can save up for a really nice dress shirt. I'm just saying, it's great that you feel comfortable here at work, but, you know, an adult could walk in.
Progressive can't save you from becoming your parents, but we can save you money when you bundle home and auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
How would you like to see the newest NBA superstars here in Las Vegas? It's the NBA Summer League coming July 5th through the 15th, and we want to send you for free. Just go to LVSportsNetwork.com, register to win 4 reserved seats and Summer League merchandise.
Get your windows tinted for just $99. Summer is almost here, and if your windows aren't tinted, the inside of your vehicle is going to get hot. The seats, the steering wheel, everything. $99 will fix that. Desert Tint has been keeping cool since 1987. Right now, Desert Tint has a pre-summer special. Get your windows tinted for just $99. Yes, $99. Desert Tint with 3 locations in Las Vegas. Open 7 days a week. Window tinting for just $99. To book your appointment, call Desert Tint at 337-5851. That's 337-5851. Some exclusions apply.
Dave Cokin with John Lyons from Lyons Physical Therapy. So give me a rundown on maybe a typical treatment at LPT.
Sure, Dave. On an initial consult, we'll sit down with the patient for at least 10 or 15 minutes, get a history of their injury or their condition. Then we'll move